And welcome to Fell Riders Diaries, everybody, and welcome to the middle of August in the Lake District, where 25 mile an hour prevails and incontinence pants sales go through the roof. Goodness me. And there was a bit of discussion on the forum not so long ago, and it was called the 45 Club. And the 45 Club are the people who just potter around national speed limits at 45 miles an hour. Well, I'd like to introduce a different club, and that is the 25 Club, for precisely the same reasons. Now, I understand it's very beautiful and people want to look at it, and they're on holiday and they're here to enjoy themselves, and you can do all that. You just don't have to do all that in your car, because when you're in your car, I'd much rather have it that you're just paying attention. They might be doing that as well. They might just be intimidated by the roads and they don't fancy going very fast down them, and that's all well and good. But if that is your criteria, then I can assure you there are plenty of places for you to pass. If only they were to pull over. You know, you're doing 25 mile an hour, it's a national speed limit, you know you're doing 25 mile an hour. Look in the rearview mirror, you see a couple of cars behind you, maybe an irate motorcyclist, and you think, oh, you know what, I'll pull over. Yeah, I'm holding people up, I'll just pull over. Who knows, I might stop for a bit of lunch. Enjoy it while I'm here, it's nice weather, it's about lunchtime. Sure, you know, make something of it. But no, they stay at 25 mile an hour the whole fucking time. There you go. She's got the right idea. On a Ducati, get her. Yeah, so this is the 25 Club. And really, oh come on, Elf. You see, it's a brow of a hill, and I can't do it. It's probably clear. It's 99 times out of 100 going to be clear. But no, I can't do it. Because if you get it wrong, there's no walking away from that. You know, there's no escape route, there's no plan B, there's no contingency. You overtake a car, it's a brow of a hill, last minute, car comes over the brow, bang, dead. Sorry, didn't see ya. No, my fault, I was overtaken on the brow of a hill. So I've got to let those ones go. You can have this one. So that's one out of the way. Now, what that does is that puts me in a position behind the Vito, and the Vito is a panel van, which now means I've got even less forward vision than what I had behind the previous car. Not such a problem. Hello, what's he braking for? He's pulling in. What a good man. There we go. Seen the error of his ways, or maybe he's just looking for a parking spot, I don't know. So now we only have the one problem, which is the Vito. Now we'll wait to see if he fancies any of these parking bays. Doesn't look like it, but he's doing 20 miles an hour, which means quick lifesaver, and I can be past him as well. The point is, you've got to pick and choose your passing places. Now once I'm at the front, that doesn't mean I'm going to tear ass up the road. I'm not going to be a lunatic. You know, just because I'm past these particular hazards, it doesn't mean there won't be more hazards around the corner. And there was a sobering thought on the Del Boys Garage channel about a young lad called Ryan, who was only 20 years old. He was riding down a country road, probably not a great deal different to this, and he came round a corner and there was a tractor there, and he managed to stop in time. He'd done the right thing. He broke within which he could see to be clear. Good lad. Car behind him never. I went straight into the back of him, and as far as I can work out, he now has a serious back injury and he's in a wheelchair. And all of these things, they go through your mind, because being a motorcyclist, we are very vulnerable on the roads. You know, we only take up about a sixth of the footprint, so you know, there's places on the road that we can go that cars can't, and sometimes there is an escape route, sometimes there is a plan B. But when you're stationary, because, I don't know, a tractor's pulled out of a field onto the road, and the car behind you hasn't seen you, and then goes ploughing into the back of you, well, I don't know what you can do about that, to be perfectly honest. I think that's, what do you call it? You want to call it karma? You want to call it bad luck? Do you want to call it fate? I don't know. All I know is, it's not your fault as a motorcyclist. You know, you're not responsible for how other people drive, and you're only responsible for yourself. And you can take every care in the world. You can ride in your bubble, you can ride defensively, you can look ahead, you can plan, observe, everything that they'll teach you. But if you're stationary and someone goes into the back of you because they weren't paying attention, then I offer the guy my commiserations, but that's all I can offer. I can't do anything else for him, and he couldn't do anything else for him either. He done all he could. So yeah, when you're riding around these country lanes, these single carriageways, and someone in front of you is going very slow and you want to get past, then by all means make your way past, but make your way past safely. You know, it's a real priority now, whenever I go out for a ride, that I get home in one piece. And that might sound a little over dramatic, especially after riding 12 years in London, but because particularly around here there are so many distractions, there are so many inconsistencies, that you've got to hedge your bets and put yourself in a position of safety first. And I'm afraid everything else, including fun and adrenaline and excitement, I'm afraid that all comes second. And here we are beyond the focus, and it starts all over again. We're doing 30 miles an hour, and I know this road pretty well, it's got to be said. I ride up and down it frequently. I use it on my van runs as often as I can because I want the knowledge, and it's a lot of fun. So I know that there are no real overtaking opportunities from here until Glenridding, which is going to be about 2-3 miles away. So I'm happy to sit behind him, happy to keep a safe distance. I know that just around this left hand corner there's a car park on the right hand side, so we take into account that he might want to pull into that. His brake lights are going on for very slow speeds, which tells me that he's either not very confident driving around these roads, or he's looking for somewhere to stop. I can see a little head in the centre of his rear glass window, so he's got a child on board, and he may be talking to her or him, he may be being distracted, and he may be discussing where they're going to stop. And all of these things, they all go through your mind, because when you're a motorcyclist you've got to be aware. You know, you're not surrounded by crumple zones and safety cages. I don't have any airbags, and so you're very aware of your mortality. In short, if I have an accident, it's going to hurt. And car drivers, well, they don't have that. And this is going to be perhaps a little controversial, but it's my feeling that we are getting more and more driver aids and safety aids in cars that are either replacing driver skills or giving drivers a false sense of security. And I've got absolutely nothing against safety aids, absolutely nothing at all. Anything that makes the road safer is a good thing. See brake lights going on again, car parking area. Does he fancy this? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, safety aids are a good thing. But where you're getting, I don't know, proximity sensors, you're getting traction control, you're getting ABS, and in your personal car that's great, but what happens if you jump into another car, someone else's car that doesn't have those things, or a hire car, and suddenly, as a driver, you haven't had to use those driving skills because the car's been doing it for you, keeping a safe distance, maintaining traction on the road, braking in plenty of time. And so I'm not entirely sure that, yes, that they're a lovely supplement to a motorist, but they shouldn't be replacing motorist skills. That's my feeling on it. So that's my little ramble and rant as we go trickling into Glenridding. He's still got his brake lights on. He's braking so much, and I don't know why, because he's not stopping. There we go. He was after a petrol station, was that it? Or maybe he's just turning around, who knows. I guess the point I'm trying to make is every road user uses the road differently, and as a motorcyclist you've got to accommodate all of them. They're not all going to do the same thing, they don't all go the same way, and they do the motoring thing entirely different to you or I or anyone else. Especially this one in the Ferrari. So there we go. We wish Ryan a speedy recovery. By all accounts, his back condition is going to be reviewed in 6 months' time, and hopefully we get him out of the chair and back onto a bike again if he really wants to. That's going to be his choice to make. But until then, take care everyone, and I'll speak to you all soon.